Hello, my name is Kailee Mitsuyasu, and I am the author of the book The Time I Learned from History. My main character is Ember, and she is a high school student. She is not like the usual high school student that books are written about or in the point of view of. She is the queen bee at her high school. She believes that she rules the school, that she is all that, and that people of lesser standard should not be interacting with people of her class, so to speak. Ember's parents finally have enough of her personality and the way she treats her family at home, so they threaten her with sending her to an all-girls boarding school, where an all-girls Christian boarding school, where they have dress codes, learn about the meaning of God, and basically everything she doesn't want to do with her life. My excerpt is from my second chapter, which is when Ember goes back in time to learn her first lesson in history. I woke up in a bed that I was not 100% sure was mine. The bed was smaller, harder, and the sheet scratched at my skin with every move I made. What happened to my queen-size bed, specially designed with Egyptian cotton sheets, I wondered. I slid my legs out of the woolly fabric and let my feet hit the scratchy carpeted floor. I stood straight and turned to look at my surroundings. Where did my wooden floors go? What's going on? I thought to myself. I went to the wardrobe against the wall opposite of the door and looked for something to wear. The first 3 drawers contained nothing but plain brown and gray colors. The last contained an odd-looking undergarments. I may as well put on the bedsheet. I'd probably be more fashion than available here, I thought to myself. Deciding that it was better than nothing and that I needed to see what was going on, I went to where I thought the bathroom was. The room I stepped into was cold and seemed as though no one had cleaned it in weeks. The ceiling corners had mold growing, and the walls were an off-white color. The floors had yellow-green tiles. Disgusted, I turned back to the room I was previously in and decided to change in there. I quickly put on the cutest outfit I could muster from the sad choices and made my way out the door. "Hello?" I called out to an empty hall as I peeked my head through the door. There was no answer. I crept out of the hall. I quickly fled down the narrow hallway and came to an abrupt stop in what seemed to be like a living room. The room was barren of all our furniture, or everything in that matter. The wall, instead of our sleek white walls with occasional family photos of some sorts, our walls now had a yellow, creamed wallpaper with disgusting flower print. Instead of our leather L-shaped couch, there was now a dirt-stained green love seat. The most confusing of the changes were the people in the living room. The 3 people in what looked like to be the living room. They all seemed vaguely familiar, but it wasn't until I looked at the older man that I realized that they somewhat resembled my family. "Ember, what are you doing? I have been calling you to wake up for 30 minutes. Quickly get in the car so we can go to the bank. There's no time to waste." My father led me out of the door. "What are you talking about? Who are you? Where am I?" "Ember, now's not the time for your silly jokes. We need to move on. Mom's lost her job, and we are losing money every second we are here and not selling our stocks." "Wait, what? I'm not going anywhere with you until you tell me what the heck is going on," I demanded in shock and confusion. "Ember, just listen to your father. Don't argue. I can't believe you haven't been paying attention to anything that has been going on. Here, take the newspaper so you can read it as we go out the door." My mom passed me a newspaper while guiding me out the door. "What? No, I'm not going anywhere with you. Tell me what is going on. Where is my phone?" "What are you talking about, Ember? We don't have a telephone. We aren't rich enough for that. Remember, we have a house phone," my brother told me in confusion. "What are you talking about? You loved your phone. You even named it. There hasn't been a day where I haven't seen you without it. Ember, now is not the time. Get in the car. This is the last time I am going to tell you." "What is happening? Who are they? Why do they know me? Should I go with them? Can I at least have better clothes before I go? What are they talking about? No phones. What is going on? All of these questions run through my mind as I try to figure out what could possibly have happened from the time I went to sleep to now. Sleep! That's it! I must be dreaming! I pinch myself. I didn't even feel anything. The second time I pinched, I tried a bit harder. There was a throb, but nothing else. The third time I used my nails and almost drew blood, but still, I didn't awaken. I flipped the newspaper over and noted the publisher was from the Brooklyn Daily Eagle. My eyes immediately drifted to the big bold letters that read on the headline, Wall Street in panic as stocks crash. I reread the headline 3 times and I still didn't understand. My eyes drifted lower until it came to the date. New York City, Thursday, October 24th, 1929. How did I decide to incorporate the historical events within my novel? Well, personally, I didn't want to write in the point of view of the entirety of my book being fully within the time period of the Great Depression, and so I wanted to find a way to make it so that my main character can be living in present day but still have to figure out or to learn from her mistakes or from experiences in a different time. And so I decided that maybe every odd chapter could be when she's awake, and every even chapter her dreaming. So that's how I decided to write my book. How far have I gotten in my book, and how many words have I written? I've written about 16,000 words, and I've almost gotten to the climax of the book, but I still feel like in every chapter I can add more detail and make it longer before I reach my climax. So I want to actually go back into my book and start editing before I go to my climax scenes. What did I think about the entire process? I thought it was an interesting way of learning about the Great Depression, and writing the book kind of proves that through all the historical events that you have to add, you know what happened, or you at least researched what happened, and therefore you should have retained some of that knowledge. I feel like the expectations were a little bit high for having to write so many words every day, because I encountered writer's block quite often, and so when I didn't, I tried to write as much as I could so that I stayed above the minimum requirement for the day, so at least I wasn't behind. But in the end, I think that in the month that we were writing, or the 3 weeks, or however long that we were writing, getting out 16,000 words is a lot for me personally, because I don't write a lot to begin with. And so I was pretty proud of myself by just having to write that many words in that short amount of time, because it was an original story. So I was really proud of it. Thank you for listening.